Watching Doom Age of Sorrows trailer had two opposing reactions. Oh my god, they put a goddamn dragon? And a Gundam? Oh jeezy wheezy, that's so much variety! Now the other side of me instead was more on the... oh no, they put a dragon and a big Tyrannosaurus robot. They never needed that. Does that mean the core gameplay loop is too boring on its own? Now which side was right in the end? Vote now! It's the crappy doo-doo side, I'm sorry guys. I tried to be hopeful to the bitter end, but I knew I was going to be disappointed from the prologue. The first Doom, not that one, the other first Doom, had my man Steve in the opening going, yeah, strip and dance baby. And then you kill demons and crap, and in Doom Electric Bungalow, Steve was still there, but this time you also heard all these people screaming.
Oh no, I'm not the Doom dude, I'm human, I suck, someone please help me.
In Dark Ages, Steve isn't there! What happened to Steve? Bethesda, why are you making me read like a peasant? Did you lose the rights to Steve?
Along with the rights for the glory kills?
Where are my glory kills, Bethesda? There wasn't enough space in this piece of plastic you only filled with 86 megabytes of data. That's probably only a picture of Todd screwing my mom, you cockroaching bastards! But okay, I'm sure everything will be fine once I start playing. Any second now. Any second. What's the smell of dung? Who are these people? What am I doing? What's going on? I don't care about any of this. Doom 1, free Mars from demons. Doom 2, free Earth from demons. Doom the Dark Ages, Game of Thrones. Season 8. There isn't anything interesting happening, nor do I feel invested in helping these people. What's worse, they're the main characters. You're the neighbor's pitbull keeps scaring the children in the park. Everyone hates Doom Guy. Everyone is disgusted by him, and they've left him in the hands of Jabba the Hutt. But why?
Hello!
He just wants to kill demons. Why are you keeping him in chains?
Listen, I know he's only hostile towards the greatest threat to our existence, but he stinks and he's not even human. Well, not our kind of human. Should we really send him to battle?
Sandra, first of all, racist. Second, I'm pretty sure Johnson would have preferred keeping his plane inside his body and his head as far away from a demon's intestine as possible. Yes, I think we need to call the one man who uses demon bones to play Jenga with. One time, I faced the evil demon leader, who's less threatening than a chihuahua, and I blew up the entire flying castle we were in to beat him. I lied, I didn't do any of that. Steve did it in a cutscene. Doom Dumbo was outside turning carcasses into fine minced meat.
If something is cool, don't even think about letting an NPC do it. Players do the cool stuff.
NPCs watch the player do the cool stuff.
And that sums up my thoughts on the story. It sucks and it's too far up its own butt to realize it sucks. It instead delves into pure internet funny guy and... okay, not gonna spoil this Oscar-worthy screenplay, so all I'm gonna say is, if you play this chapter and you think it's cool, I don't think we can be friends. Okay, no one cares about this stuff, but you know what we care about? The music, man! And I pity the guy that had to step into Mick Gordon's shoes. It can't be done. You're setting yourself up for failure. Mick made me go... Darkest Farthest is more of a... It's serviceable background music. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's... oh god. I know you can't easily replace the master. That doesn't excuse the mixing sucking more than Miss Pac-Man, making the tracks barely audible. And the worst thing is that it often ignores what's happening on screen. If I'm blasting my dragon's fire vomit into some titan bastard, I expect the music to match, not going... So, music's a bust too, but there's still hope, right? The story and the music in Doom are there to make you feel cool while you do the cool shooting. That's why the prologue ends with a turret segment. My favorite! Before I rip Doomly the Darkly Bumbly a new one, let me pay some due respect here. Despite my disappointment, this is still a good game, and I don't care that it's a different beast compared to Eternal. In fact, I'm happy it is. If I wanted to shoot like a junkie on speed, I can always replay Eternal, or move to Iowa. I am far more interested in seeing new ideas and gameplay mechanics, which overall are pretty neat here, I'd say. The feeling of being this unstoppable tank who can jump from 800 feet, and when you land, the enemies just go... I love that. Punches are crunchy, shooting is visceral, it's still the brutal Doom we love at its core, with all the... Wait a second, so you do have glory kills but only when I'm jumping? And hey, they brought back the animations when you first grab a weapon! That's something I missed! How cool is that? Yeah! Wait, what's that sound? Oh, it's the noise of the gameplay loop crumbling under my feet. Wow! What do you see here? A battlefield that will put your skills to test? A nice forest getaway to spend your holidays with the wife I'm sure you have? This is what I say. Barren wasteland. Hope you like those, Dark Ages is full of them. I know level design is hard, boy I know it is. But the solution should not be delete the level design. It's all flat and boring because Dark Ages is more interested in showing you a whole army of demons instead of challenging your traversal abilities. Hey, I agree, I've never seen so many demons all at once since my last trip to a Birmingham's pub, but now all my memories of the levels are mixed in my brain, and if it wasn't for the different lighting I would not be able to tell them apart. And they're so big. So goddamn big. It would have worked as a one-time thing. A nice change of pace, that's fine, but I've been walking back and forth for so long through these gargantuan landscapes I feel like I'm playing the boring version of Death Stranding. Not that all that walking is necessary, it's mostly to find optional secrets, if we agree that calling a map marker qualifies as a secret at least, which hide power-ups for your weapons, which is why I completely ignored them from the halfway point through because I couldn't care less about upgrading half of my arsenal. Here are the weapons of Boom Boom Black Ears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... No, you're wrong! Most of these are a scam and are completely useless. Now this thing was heavily featured in trailers because it shoots skulls. How rad! And it's used to clear out fodder demons. What? You're telling me that this thing shoots actual physical bullets in real time, taking real space in the ecosystem when I can just do... Whee! This thing is only useful to kill lesser, weaker, little sissies when I can just do... Boom. Guys, are we seriously? Guys, are we seriously? Well, don't worry, you also get a different version which is used for bigger demons and well, it looks cool I guess. Still sucks though. You get a grenade launcher and later they give you a rocket launcher. They look almost identical. This is how the grenade launcher shoots. And this is how the rocket launcher shoots. See the difference? Yeah, me neither. Then this thing? This one is awesome. It goes... I think it's used to tickle the enemies to make them laugh to death. The other version? This one actually works. Too well, in fact. Here's me clearing an entire horde in one of the last levels only using the 2.0. Yep, it's that sad. So in the end, these are the only weapons I ended up ever using, and the rocket launcher is there just because I needed to keep myself awake with the explosions. This issue with tool balancing encompasses every element of the gameplay. You have 3 melee attacks. One doesn't work half the time, one breaks armor, one actually kills enemies, and it's the first one. The shield? 4 different power-ups whenever you parry an attack. Deal counter damage on the ground, deal little damage to a single enemy, deal a lot of damage in air, land, sea, space and cyberspace. And then the only one you need, which stuns everything with a functioning brainstem in a 40 miles radius. In case it wasn't clear, with this lack of real options, the game do be boring. And here it comes in array without asking for consent. The bulking titan with the bulging helm. Here it is, the Doombot. I don't know how you can make piloting a Megazord boring, but that's an achievement of its own. Fine, forget the robot. Here it comes in array without asking for consent. This dragon thing is shite, innit? Okay, let's be fair, it's definitely better than the robot. Using the dragon means dealing with lots of very bad, very scripted shooting, but these levels carry an evocative sense of scale. Look at how big this place is. Okay, now forget all about it, you're only ever going here, here and down there. Okay, let's be fairer. Yes, there isn't much to do, but there are hidden landing spots to find where you can fight optional hordes. Come to think of it, that basically means that the best part of the dragon levels is looking for spots where you can stop using the dragon. Oops. Bethesda? ID Software? What's going on here? Why are you doing this to me? Why did you sacrifice so much of the spirit of your own IP?
Have you tried using the shield?
The
shield? The shield made for the Doom Boom? The shield made specifically for the Doom Boom to parry and counterattack enemies? The end-all be-all solution to every fight? The element which the entire gameplay loop revolves around? The one thing that determines whether you win or die? The bastion behind which Dark Ages invested all its time and resources? You might be surprised to hear this, but this is the optimal Dark Ages gameplay strategy. Doom 2016 philosophies was run and gun. Eternal was get bent and snort acid. And now we have stand and try not to fall asleep. Dark Ages wants you to be in the enemy's old decrepit faces so you can bait their attacks, but all this means is getting locked in a prolonged, torturous and repetitive parry-shoot-parry rotation. And before you tell me I can just ignore that and focus on shooting like the good old times, which is ironic since this game is set in the good old times, let me tell you that no. Take the cyber bastards. Stray too far, they have hit-scan bullets. Try to shield yourself from those, they break your guard in a nanosecond on Nightmare. Well, it's a good thing that by the end of the game you're so overpowered it doesn't take so long to burst their gunnets with your punches. Because yes, on top of all that, this is an easy game. Easy by Doom standards, I still died quite a lot. But mostly because the game understands that the only way to make such a combat system hard is by filling the screen with a barrage of solar rays and explosive wards. I don't feel challenged, just frustrated at a game clearly designed with simplicity in mind and that can only balance the scales by throwing as much crap as your GPU can handle. And when all that is said and done, with all I ranted about, what are we left with? How can this game possibly fare? It's a 3. Yeah, I told you, it's not a bad game, just a disappointing one. I was expecting something exceptional, I got something okay. I'm sad about it, but I'm not gonna stop being objective because of it. I'm more sad at the fact that this useless piece of plastic costed me €100. But ultimately, I feel like this game is a sign. The new Doom games felt like a return to an age of hardcore, hard-as-nails shooters, while what we got here is a solid experience, but also one that got stripped of all of its complexities. One that was developed with spectacle rather than depth in mind. And sprinkling trite pop culture references on top certainly doesn't help. Sorry, but if you still use Cthulhu unironically in your story, I take it as a sign that your creativity has hit rock bottom. But what's really sad is that this is how I would be describing a Call of Duty game. We truly live in the Dark Ages. And for the love of God, I better not see any of you commenting I could have just used the accessibility options to make the game harder. I played this thing on Nightmare. Why should I be fiddling with the goddamn sliders? So I can get through this log faster? Game designers are supposed to balance their game and not shift that burden onto players. It's not our job fixing your games, Bethesda. We're already busy doing that with your bland RPGs.